Hey Dad, why the flying fuck does that block look like you took a grinder to it? Are you like a machine shop, but the grinder version?
Well, come on over here. Okay. Okay, so I've gotten a lot of flack ever since I went on TikTok because I use Rollocks to clean a lot of stuff up. There's a hell of a lot of shops that do and pretend like they don't. It's just too big of a job to sit there and try and use something like a super scraper. If you look closely, you can still see the indentation of where the head gasket was on this thing. And I cleaned this thing with a Rollock. This is one of the heaviest grits you can get. This is the brown one. You can see right there where I was just hitting the shit out of this. You can still see the indentation of that head gasket. The thing you guys got to understand is that the surface here and the surface of your head, in between those two is a head gasket, and that head gasket material is super thick. It's meant to be squished. It's meant to take out any imperfection. Where it matters is right here in the liner height, where that liner height crushes into the fire ring. That's where all your measuring's done. That's where all the failure happens. Out here on the deck, it basically doesn't matter at all. And it certainly isn't hurting anything to clean it up, be more efficient, use something like this. I could take a freaking 80 grit sanding pad and sand the living shit out of the top of this deck. It's still going to seal as long as my liner protrusions are correct. Out here is basically a non sequitur. It doesn't really even matter. So to pretend like you have some kind of moral high ground or something like that because you're over here with a super scraper and doing this thing, you're no different, you're no better, you're not doing a better job, there's no more quality than coming in here with this. If anything, I would argue this is going to do a lot better job. It's going to get a hell of a lot cleaner. I mean, look at this deck right here. You can see it's got a bunch of imperfections in it. It's messed up pretty bad. If this thing was going to cause a head gasket failure because you were using it, those things would automatically cause a failure, right? And this thing's actually going to do a better job of getting rid of stuff like this. The super scraper's not going to do anything for that at all. Not that I don't like super scrapers. I own them. Everybody here uses them. But my super scraper is to get the bulk of the shit off so I can clean it with something like this. As you can see, you know, I was able to get rid of some of those nicks and scrapes right there, but some of them still remain. These are not going to compromise the head gasket crush at all. It's made out of freaking same kind of material like your exhaust gasket's made out of. And look at your exhaust manifold. Those things are not a perfectly smooth finish or anything like that, and they got a hell of a lot more pressure on them. I mean, they got freaking hot gas coming through it and all kinds of pressure. You're not getting super hot gas in this area right here. That's what your fire ring crush is for, is to avoid getting any hot gas in here. So this idea, you know, I've been getting flack for it for what, 3 years now? It's just fucking nonsense. Just since we've been here in Texas for what, we're just about to hit 6 months, we've already done 123 engines that we worked on, and we're not having head gasket failures. What else do you need to know?